It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's coming up next.
Welcome to the historic Inner Harbor of Baltimore, Maryland. Just a stone's throw away, you find M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Ravens. So good to have you with us, Mike Tirico, Greg Olson up here in the booth. And Greg, this is one of those games that a little old school. Maybe if it was in black and white, it would be fitting, right? We got a couple of teams who have to hand it off and see their running backs do it on the ground.
It's just so cool, and you mentioned it, Mike. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, this would have been the norm on any given weekend, but we're seeing the game trend to more of a passing-style offense. If you want to score points, it mostly comes through the air. So for these two kind of throwback offenses that rely so heavily on their running backs, for anybody that loves old-school power football, I think we're in for a treat.
So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set. And off we go here on EA Sports. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense taking the field for the first time, led by their quarterback, league MVP in 2019 and 2023, Lamar Jackson.
Is there a more exciting guy in the NFL to watch play quarterback than this guy, Mike? I mean, one of the most dynamic athletes to ever play the position. And what's truly unique about him is his ability to beat you both as a runner and equally as a passer. And that's really where his game has developed. Defensive coordinators, they don't sleep very much when they know they're facing this guy and all the problems that he presents.
First carry for one of the league's best workhorses, Derrick Henry. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he gets this up to the 40-yard line.
When we met with these coaches during the week, Mike, they told us the emphasis this week about getting the run game going early, and we see it here. Nice first play pickup, fresh set of downs.
On 1st and 10, Jackson. Open man is Hopkins. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Not something you want to see in the opening minute of the game. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. From the gun, Jackson. He'll look Hopkins' way again. This is also complete. It's a gain of 12 there. Good for a Raven first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
12 was nice last time, so they did it again. Another 12-yard pickup and another first down.
With wide receivers, I think we spend so much time, Mike, talking about their speed and their route running, and of course that's critical, but the ability to not only catch the ball, but to concentrate on the bad throws. We used to have a saying, you get paid to catch the bad ones, and saw a great example of it here, laying out, going down to get this ball, holding on through contact with the ground, and that's a big-time play.
Here's 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. He'll complete this one to Rashad Bateman. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
We hear the term RPO so often, Mike, and it continues to kind of trickle its way into the NFL. But remember, it's a lot different in the NFL than it is in the college game where it's a lot more prevalent. The lineman cannot go downfield, so that quarterback has to make a lot of really fast snapshot decisions, or else it's going to lead to a penalty or him holding on to the ball too long. So it's something that teams want to implement, but maybe not quite to the level that we see in the college game. This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
Back to throw, Jackson. Good blocking, and he's in. Lamar Jackson. Touchdown, Ravens. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Point after, coming up here. He gets it to go, and the Ravens will take a 7-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Rams offense taking the field for the first time. They're led by former #1 overall pick and Super Bowl champion with the Rams, Matthew Stafford.
Stafford was one of those guys, Mike, that I think through the first half of his career was probably the most underappreciated quarterback in the entire league. The talent was always undeniable. But what he was constantly discredited for was just the fact that he was on some really bad teams that were left to play really irrelevant football down the stretch. Immediately changed that narrative the second he joined a championship roster. Now, he's just trying to see if he can add some more hardware to that resume and solidify that legacy even further.
And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And he'll weave his way down close to that first down. Going to come up just a little shy. It's going to be 3rd down and short. Now Stafford. He's got a man. That's Nakua. Complete. And he's going to have the first down taken down after a short pickup of 5, but it will keep the drive going.
What that play call tells me is that play caller made up his mind. We're on 3rd and inches. If we don't get it, we're going for it on 4th down. So he really treated that 3rd down like 2nd down. They work the outside part of the field, simple pitch and catch. It's a nice pickup.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game.
Stafford now to throw on first down. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. On the ground, this is Williams. And nice work here. He's got the first down to about the 30-yard line.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
On first down, right back to Williams. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down. It's another run here for Williams. And he'll get this inside the 20. A nice run. They're in the red zone. It's first down.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
On the play fake, here's Stafford. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
He'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Stafford. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. The big man, Nnamdi Madubuike, there for the sack.
If there's one positive remaining, it's the fact that they're still in scoring position. But with the way they've been able to move the ball down here in the red zone, they're thinking 6. But after that last sack, their chances of converting here for a touchdown have gotten a lot more difficult.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll let this go towards the end zone.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. The next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
So on comes Joshua Carty to try this field goal. And this will be from 42 yards out. Carty's kick is good. And the Rams are on the board. It's 7-3.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. The return starts from the 5. Across the 20, they'll mark them down before the 25-yard line, and that's where the offense will take over. The Ravens offense ready to get going with their 2nd possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. It's a zone read, and Jackson's going to keep it. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short gain.
They face second down and 7. Here's Jackson. This one caught downfield by Flowers. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. On the option, they give it to Henry. And he'll move this ahead for about 4 yards. Jared Verse there to make the tackle. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll motion over Flowers. They'll go again here with Henry. And he is not going to get away. Might have gotten a yard, but it will set up 3rd down. Jackson looking to throw. And he's got it to Flowers for the connection. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line. A big play there. Jackson to Flowers. 32 yards. So a big 3rd down hookup takes us to the break. It's the Ravens out front. We'll be back in Baltimore after this. From the 1-yard line, 1st down and goal. Bateman is the motion man. They'll try to run this one in. And that big offensive line. Clearing space. He's in. Justice Hill. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And, Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
The kicking team on for the extra point. He's got it. And the Ravens extend their advantage to 14-3. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. The Rams offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They trail now 14-3, so an 11-point deficit as they start things out with 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, it's Stafford. Coming across the field, connecting with Adams. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a first down.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. A give, and here comes Williams. He's going to be taken down at about the 30.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
This one complete to Atwell. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
Now a second down throw for Stafford. That is caught at the 3. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
This is a great example, Mike, of just how effective it is when you're efficient on early downs throwing the ball. I mean, when you can pick up first downs without getting to third down, as the game unfolds, things just get easier and easier. Take what the defense is giving you. Don't force the ball downfield. But when you can stay ahead of the chains without having to get to third and have it plays, that's when an offense is.
And he'll just get up inside those big bodies up front, and he's in. Kyren Williams. Touchdown, Rams.
Now remember back, Mike, their first drive, they had to settle for 3. So they definitely didn't want to have to do that again. So really solid drive from start to end, and they're finally able to cap it off with a touchdown.
Joshua Carty comes out now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Rams are back within 4. It is 14-10. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense and receiver Zay Flowers heading back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in the first half, it's resulted in a big play that is borne out by those eye-popping numbers. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now, Jackson. He's got his tight end, Mark Andrews. And he's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Now Jackson, this a designed run. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line.
When this offense is really in gear, Mike, a lot of it is because of the ability of Lamar Jackson running the football. He is what makes this thing go, and you can see why.
A give right up the middle to Henry. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down. Play action now. Jackson. Throw over the middle. Brought in by Hopkins. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
You can see this connection is just starting really to pick up. They're seeing the game through the same set of eyes, and that is the job of the receiver. What is my quarterback expecting from me? Where does he want me? Be there on time, and it leads to big gains like this.
A first down throw for Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
Jackson now on second down. A throw left side, going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. Into space. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, L.A. Nothing the defense loves more, Greg, than the opportunity to not only stop a team, but turn them back around the other way. A touchdown on the pick six.
Yeah, the defense just loves getting their hands on the ball when they can, Mike, but it is extra special when they're able to capitalize and take it all the way back for 6.
These are the ones that rip your heart out on the offensive side. Cardi now to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Rams move out to a 3-point edge, 17-14. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. A safe kick taken at the 5. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense ready to get back to work. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Throwing Jackson. And a big strike for good yardage there all the way up to midfield.
We've really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and just seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Here's Hill. And no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
Pistol formation with Jackson. That's over the middle to the tight end, Andrews. Here comes 3rd and 6. It's the tight end Likely in motion. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his tight end. That's Andrews. That's his 3rd catch of this first half and good enough for a first down.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
1st and 10 now from the 36. Bateman is the motion man. Jackson now to throw on 1st down. The left side into the hands of Hopkins. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Here's the give to Henry running right. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
This is a guy who's been doing it at a high level, Mike, for a long time. Not too many running backs finding success in the NFL past the age of 30. That's usually when they kind of ride off into the sunset, but as always, there's the exception to every rule.
Hopkins sent in motion. On play action, here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Justice Hill out of the backfield. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had...
Oh, he pumps up the football. The Rams have it.
You know, it's amazing, Mike, that guys still end up fumbling the ball because I can tell you from experience, the first 15 minutes of every offensive practice is ball security circuit. And that could be a combination of multiple things. How to go to the ground without getting loose to the ball, almost like the art of falling. It could be running over bags or through bags as guys take swats at the ball trying to knock it out. There are so many ways to simulate what the game is like because at the end of the day, if you want to win in the NFL, protecting the ball is the #1 priority, and it cannot be stressed enough.
First and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. So, 2 minutes to play in a back-and-forth first half. We'll come back to Baltimore after this. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down. A shotgun snap to Stafford. Unloads downfield, looking for Nakua.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of balls. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away. And that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake. You're not going to get away with it at this level.
The Ravens offense ready to take over once again. They'll start with a golden opportunity here to move out in front. Great field position to start out. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. He'll find Hill out of the backfield. And he is on the chalk, stepping out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of 3 on the play.
What they teach these backs is when you catch a check down, immediately try to get vertical. Try to put a hole in the defense coming to rally tackle. So give credit to the defense here. They strung this out and made him go sideways, and they forced him to go so far sideways, he went out of bounds.
A throw, left side, caught by Andrews. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. In motion comes Andrews. Jackson from the gun on 3rd down. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively, and now decision time. What are you going to do on 4th down? And the defense has it. The Rams offense ready for this next possession. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Stafford. Right side, complete to Nakua. And they're going to get him down right at the 25.
This is a great opportunity now for the offense to really seize control of this game. They just saw their opponent miss a field goal try, come out aggressive on the ensuing possession, strike deep early. Now see if they can put this drive together and end it with some points.
On the play fake, here's Stafford. To the left side, and Adams has it. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Now a timeout Rams, that's number 2, as they'll stop it just a little bit over 30 seconds to go in this first half. Second down and 3. Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure, and down he goes. They got him. Now a timeout here by Baltimore. That's going to be their 2nd as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this first half. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they're going to play it safe with a run. And he's fighting to get free. A lot of work there for a gain of 3. So 4th down, the Rams will send out Ethan Evans to punt. This is taken at his own 30. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Certainly not one of his better throws, but what I've loved out of this quarterback today, Mike, was just how aggressive he's remained throughout the entire course of the game. Continue to push the ball downfield. Even if it falls incomplete, it opens up everything else in this passing game, and they've had their way so far today.
On the give, here's Henry. And he'll get forward for a couple. Cameron Curl up from his safety spot to make the tackle. So we're at halftime, and it's the visitors, the Rams, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Mike, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. We saw a fine performance in that first half from the running back, Kyron Williams. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Coach, thanks. This one's still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with the hot hand in this second half, about to get started. Three points, all that separates these two sides, as half number 2 kicks off. Now, here comes a return from the 9. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The Rams offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. We'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. The motion man is Nakua. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
On second down, here's Stafford. This one complete to Atwell. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why.
It'll be a run out of the gun with Williams. That one never got started. Too much defensive pressure. They dropped him in the backfield.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
Second down, it's Stafford. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And it'll be taken down after a gain of 9, and third down coming up.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Throw on third down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult to defensively, it'll set up a 4th down.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens headed back out again. And he has had all sorts of trouble in this one. Your quarterback has to take care of the ball, and he has not. Turning it over in the air, turning it over as a fumbler. You just cannot win football games in this league when the quarterback's giving the defense the ball. And that's what he's done in this one. Here's 1st and 10. In motion comes Andrews. On 1st and 10, Jackson. That's thrown right side, but incomplete. Rashad Bateman, the intended target, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
This one caught downfield by Flowers. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a 1st down to boot.
Great pre-snap recognition here by the quarterback. He looks outside and sees man coverage, and he knows exactly where he's going to go with the ball. Now it's up to the receiver to create separation at the top of the route. Ball's on time, great placement, nice big pickup.
A 1st down throw for Jackson. He'll get this out to his running back. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
Jackson up top again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Through the first half, it was clear. This pass protection, this offensive line unit, they were clearly up for the challenge. The pass rush was non-existent. But here in the second half, you can sense a little bit more urgency. You can see them start playing with a little more speed and intensity, and it pays off there with their first sack of the day.
3rd and long. Here's Jackson. Taking off, he'll try to get there. Good job breaking the pocket and going for 14 yards, and most importantly, a 1st down.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on 3rd down. Starts out as a pass. Nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner. Picks up the 1st down.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. In motion comes Andrews. 2nd down, Jackson. Now he'll run it.
I love this call, Mike. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the 1st down.
Hopkins sent in motion. That is left side and caught by Flowers. He's taken down just shy of the 10.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They clearly have a mismatch in their favor, and every time they've looked his way, he's continued to make big plays. If I'm this coordinator, I think I'm giving him one more shot and see if he can push this thing over the goal line and come away with 6.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Henry. He is in. Derrick Henry, touchdown Ravens.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
Now, for the point after. He's got it. And the Ravens move out in front by 4. It's 21-17. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Rams offense about ready to take over once more. They trail by 4. Touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. In motion, it's the tight end, Higbee. On 1st down, it's Stafford. There's a short one taken in by Higbee. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
They'll run it with Williams. And he is planted in the backfield. Defenders crashing through, blow up that play behind the line.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the 1st down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
Stafford now on 3rd down. He's got a man. That's Nakua. Complete. That's a dozen for number 12, and he's got a 1st down as well.
I'd like to see them do a better job here the rest of the game, Mike, just disguising the coverage from the pre-snap look to the post-snap look. And what I mean is, when you have a quarterback at this level and what they see before the ball's in their hands is the exact same thing they see once they do get the ball, everything is just so much easier for them to process. Change the look, change the coverages, move your safeties. Make the quarterback have to process with the ball in his hand.
Here's a 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. He gets it into the hands of Atwell. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short.
The best quarterbacks, Mike, they have an internal clock in their head. How does my protection match up with the rush and the route concept I'm trying to attack downfield? In this case, he's looking downfield, realizes quickly this ball's got to come out, checks it down to his underneath drag, picks up what he can.
They'll try to run for it with Williams. He's down right at the 40, but that is good enough to move the chains. 1st down.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up the first down.
They'll go again with Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line.
There's a guy, Mike, who just refuses to go down. You'd love to see the old school kind of stiff arm. Get off me. Ability to break these tackles and still pick up big yards.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Out of the shotgun, they give it to Williams. It'll be a short pickup down to the 22. That is Nnamdi Madubuike there to bring him down. Second and 7. Off play action. It's Stafford. And Marlon Humphrey is there, and he picks it off. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 12.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You've got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
Derrick Henry heading out along with the rest of this Ravens offense. This will start from the 12, trying to put a drive together here. It's first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And the defense, good job sticking to their rules. They didn't take their eyes off the running back, who gains nothing.
Defensive coaches preach every day, Mike, swarm to the ball. Get as many hacks to the ball carrier as possible. And this is a great reason why. The ball carrier is able to make the first guy miss, but it was the pursuit from the rest of the defense that's able to get him down and keep him to no gain.
That's caught. It's the tight end, Andrews. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain. They need to get to the 22, but now face third down. Hopkins sent in motion. To the tight end, Likely. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. So, 3 quarters now in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. It's the tight end, Likely, in motion. On play action, here's Jackson. He's got his tight end, Likely, downfield. That pickup good for 29 yards.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
Jackson now on second down. That is caught. It is Hopkins. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up third down.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
And this ball incomplete on third down.
And this game almost just flipped completely on his head. You find yourself with a lead, just trying to milk the clock away in the fourth quarter, and that's a gift. I mean, that defender just flat out drops the ball, and if he's able to secure that takeaway, this game looks very different for this offense.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. Here come the Rams as their offense trots back onto the field. They'll start out first down and 10. A shotgun snap to Stafford. That one caught by Adams.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
They'll come up on a second down and 8. In motion, it's the tight end, Higbee. Now a second down throw for Stafford. That's to the left side and pulled in by Higbee. And he'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
3rd and 2, Stafford. And he's going to have the first down. It is a gain of 6. Good conversion on third down.
Critical third down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the fourth quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
The motion man is Nakua. Stafford to throw again. Here's a screen set up to Williams. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
You see so many teams wait till third down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on first down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
Right side, complete to Nakua. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Just that little extra second you allow your wide receiver to continue to work open by the ability to move the pocket. Buy time with your feet, but remain a passer.
On first down, it is Williams. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Well, there's not a whole lot of fancy going on here, Mike. This is just kind of old school, line up and run smash mouth football. It's exactly what they did, but it still ends up in a big gain, and he picks up the first down.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Off the bootleg, it's Stafford. He'll let this go. Deep shot for Atwell. And he will score. 2-2 Atwell. Touchdown, Los Angeles. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that fourth quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Now this, an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. His kick is good. And the Rams extend the advantage to a field goal. It's 24-21. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. This returnable from the 4. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and Lamar Jackson getting set to take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. A throw here, right side, falls incomplete. Searching for his Pro Bowl tight end Mark Andrews that time. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Finding space at the 40. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
Play action now. Jackson. That's downfield, and he's got Andrews, his tight end. And he's just a couple short of a touchdown. We'll mark him out at the 2-yard line. It's a big play when they needed it the most. Pickup of 46 yards.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
What a moment in this game. A touchdown would give them the late lead. It is 1st down and goal. Bateman is the motion man. Here's a run. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Justice Hill. Touchdown, Baltimore. His 2nd TD of the game, and this one gives his team the lead. They'll line it up to kick the extra point. The kick is good. And the Ravens have taken a 4-point advantage. So now playing with the lead after that 4th quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. This fielded at about the 9. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. Kyren Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. The drive begins with a run by Williams. And this is going to be a Rams first down. Good running. Gets him to about the 44.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You've got to have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
On the play fake, here's Stafford. That'll be caught by the running back, Williams.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Second down and 8. Here's a handoff to Williams. And he'll bring this across midfield as this drive is taking shape. A gain of 7 on that one.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
Now, on 3rd and 2, they'll try and throw for it. A gain there of 10 yards. Good for a Rams first down.
And how about the poise of this quarterback? You find yourself down here late in the fourth quarter, Mike, facing a tough 3rd down. You've got to have it. But you know what? He calls the play, he breaks the huddle. He's like, you know what, Coach? I got it. That's a big-time throw to now keep this drive alive as they go down looking for that go-ahead touchdown.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Pass caught right side by Higbee. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
2nd and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. Has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
This one complete to Atwell. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. They'll drop to throw. To the left side, and Adams has it. And this is not going to work out as planned. Tough spot to try to run a play like that. It is blown up behind the line.
The quick passing game in the NFL, Mike, is so dependent on yards after the catch. You got to generate space with the scheme, and then it's up to the receiver to do the rest. In this case, nice job defensively, because this guy couldn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
What's the play call here? 4th down and 7. They'll snap it. Here's Stafford. That's taken in, and he will have the first down. So they roll the dice on 4th down in the red zone, and it pays off with 1st and goal. Play action now for Stafford. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it'll lead to a 2nd and goal.
All right, so this is why you get paid the big bucks. These are the possessions as a quarterback you need to deliver for your team. Everybody talks about 2-minute. Everybody drills it every single week. But when it comes down to this moment in the game, your quarterback needs to be on point. And after that first down incompletion, it just makes things that much harder. So now after that last incompletion, this brings up a critical 3rd down. But remember, Mike, they don't have to get it all here in one play. They've got 3rd and 4th down. There's no punt. There's no kick. They've got to treat this like it's their final possession of the game, and they've got 2 downs to extend this drive.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Oh, the pressure too much. He goes down.
If you can rush the passer, you can close out games, and that 3rd down sack is going to go a long way to closing this one out. Forces 4th and long, a desperate offensive possession. It's going to all come down to this 4th down try.
Here we go. The noise is deafening. It's 4th and goal. Stafford to throw it. This caught, and this is a touchdown. They were not going to be denied, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute of play.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Now this, an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. An important extra point up and good, so the lead is 3 here in the late stages of the game. So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. This will be returned from the 6. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. This is 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's to the right side. He's got Andrews. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. Final minute, still 2 timeouts remaining as we get to 1st and 10. Throwing Jackson. That's over the middle to the tight end, Andrews. Now a timeout here by Baltimore. That's going to be their 2nd. Clock stops with 33 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. Now, deep ball for Bateman. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up third down.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, Mike, this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right. And I think it's a big part of the reason they find themselves trailing here in the fourth quarter.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Again, it's Jackson. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
To the air one more time with Jackson. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Big play coming up. This is third down. Jackson up top again. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Got to give a lot of credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was plenty of time for the quarterback to work through his progression. I thought the protection was actually pretty solid. But at the end of it, there was just nowhere to go, and he had no choice but to just throw that ball away.
So here it is, 4th down and 10. One last shot now for Jackson. Going up top and looking for Andrews. And that is incomplete. They took the end zone shot of the final play. It's a heartbreaking finish as this one will come to an end. So it's a win for the visiting Rams. They were forced to travel cross-country